Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're doing a little experiment with beer soap and incorporating that into melt and pour soap. This is for if you don't have a base, that's what we're doing. So I just started off with a quarter of a pound, so 4 ounces of soap because that's what's going to fill the soap mold that I have. And then also we're using a quarter of a pound because this is an experiment and that makes measuring things easy and convenient. Everything's just going to be, you know, a fourth of what we would normally do for a pound of soap. I am using, for the white, I'm using the SFIC white palm-free soap base. I always mess that up. And I'm just going to go ahead and melt that down. And then I'm going to be adding beer powder. The reason I'm doing this is because I saw Crafter's Choice had beer powder on their website. I was kind of interested in what that was. I've never really used it outside of this. I've never even heard of it. But I thought it would be good for my cold process soaps because I do like to make beer soap, but I don't drink beer, and it's, you know, might be easier. So we're also going to take glycerin and kind of mix that in with the soap, and then I'm going to use the little bit that I have left over of that fragrance oil because I have just a box with like the tiniest amount. So we all know that if we're doing melt and pour recipes, we use the large tablespoon and we put 1 scoop. So I'm just going to go down to a quarter. So we, like I said, we can keep our measuring pretty easy and convenient. So everything's melted down. I'm not checking my temperatures just because I don't know where my heat gun is. I've lost it a couple weeks ago, months ago. I don't know where it went. So I do apologize about that. It just is kind of at room temperature and it's a fairly cool day out. So like I said, I'm going to take the beer powder and measure out a quarter of a spoon of that and then mix it in with the glycerin real quick. Now, another reason why I'm using fragrance oil is because the reviews on the website said it had a bit of a yeasty smell, and so did the description. Like it said, when you incorporate it, it'll have a little bit of a beer yeast smell to it. I can't tell you if it does or not. I still can't smell a lot of things, so I even tried to smell it myself, and I'm like, nope, nothing. So I didn't notice anything, but I also can't smell the fragrance oil that I just added. So if that gives you a reference, my nose is not working. Again, that's why I haven't been soaping a lot either, but that's okay. So then I just went ahead and, like I said, mixed it in. I didn't see very much discoloration. It turned like just the slightest bit of, I would say, like an ivory color. It's the tiniest bit off white, but you really wouldn't even notice it. And then I'm like, well, you know, that was okay, but like I want to see, maybe it didn't mix all the way. I'm like, let's try it again with the clear base. So I went ahead and melted it down and kind of did the same thing with the clear base. And then I'm just going to let those set up for a few hours, and then I'm going to do like a lather test with these and see how they lather. And then we're going to also see, like with the clear base, it'll show us too if the powder, once it's mixed in, you know how sometimes when you use melt and pour soap, it like all sinks to the bottom or one side. I think you can see that a little bit better sometimes on the clear melt and pour base. It just kind of depends on what additive you're using. So we'll go ahead and let that sit up, and then I will show you the end results in just a second. Alright, so it's been about 4 hours since I poured those, and taking them out of the mold was super easy. The clear one did get a little wrinkles in it because I touched it, but other than that, they came out fine. There was a little bit of dirt in my mold or on my hands. I'm not sure where it came from. But overall, the color on the white stayed about the same. Like I said, you could hardly notice. The clear isn't as clear. I will say there is like, again, like an ivory tinge. The camera kind of picks it up. So just do keep that in mind if you want to add beer to your soap. This picture I thought showed the colors the best. As far as the lather test, I didn't see much change in the lather. It did feel a little bit creamier, and the bubbles were a little bit smaller on both bars, in my opinion. Also, my hands did feel softer after I used it. So I do like this. I'm probably going to continue to do this, maybe a different project. If you guys learned something today or like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, give it a like, or, you know, just go ahead and leave me a comment down below or subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you guys for watching.